Welcome to Gentle Yoga. We are going to use a playlist called LTFD 101, and I will give a little bit of a countdown when we're ready to start that. I'm also using the natural light because the lights were flickering, so we'll just see how that goes, and if over time I need to turn on another light, I'll do that, but bear with me. And make sure that you have your 2 blocks, and I just realized I don't have my blanket. But so we won't be using the blanket. We'll just be using the 2 blocks. And we will do the little countdown. So you can queue up your playlist. Make sure it's not on shuffle. And then I'll say 3, 2, 1, and then we'll press play. 3, 2, 1, play. Oops. And then once you are ready to get settled, you'll head over to your yoga mat and put the blocks under your knees laying down. You're putting the blocks under the knees and laying down. Everything good? Oh, okay, no, actually I do care a lot about that, but it was because I was right next to it. How about right now? Okay, great. Another thing I can do is turn on my air filter. That also helps to block out the background noise. So we're starting in Shavasana. Thank you for letting me know. I know nobody, I'm a total stickler for good audio. I'm like, if you can't see me, too bad, but I want you to be able to hear me. And so we'll take that into the shape, into the Shavasana pose. Can you hear my voice? Can you hear the sound of your own breath? And one of my teachers used to always say, let the sound of your breath start to drown out the sound of your mind, the sound of your thoughts. And so I do like to create space to let the thoughts wash in and out, especially in the arriving process. So this is not about over controlling, micromanaging your mind, but about inviting space into the body. And so we use the breath to do that. If the low back is feeling sensitive, you can always put the blocks onto the medium setting. I like to do a little bit of an upside down V shape to just support the knees falling outward. And breathing in and breathing out. In traditional Shavasana, the palms are face up. We're now going to take the hands onto the belly. And so let the fingers spread. And ideally the shape, but actually creating this dome, this space to let the let your belly rise to meet the hands. You can feel the breath from the inside out. There's pressure that gets created as the lungs press up against the rib cage. Feedback of fullness. Can you let that happen with your belly against the hands? You are allowing your physical body to take up a little bit more space on the mat. You might feel some more relaxation towards the lower abdomen, maybe even a release or lengthening around the sacrum. And if not, what's happening around the neck? If things are really locked up for you, can you find that space between the ears and the shoulders? Maybe a softening of the jaw. Let your head get a little heavier, resting back onto the earth, onto your mat. These two areas of the body are divinely connected. Base of the skull, those suboccipitals, and the sacrum. Last breath here. Slowly, we're going to draw one knee in. If you want to adjust the blocks so that you're putting them next to each other, almost like as if they're like a bolster under the knees. And then inhale, reach the arms up, and then we'll draw that right knee in. If it's still too much for your low back, you can plant your foot on top of the block or on the earth. Otherwise, just let that left leg rest over the block. Add on your ankle circles. Other direction. So the biceps are working as you draw the knee in, but can you relax those upper traps, relax the neck? Slowly recline, let that right leg go, arms up overhead, full body length here. Left knee in, inhale. Exhale, pause. And then add on your ankle circles. Again, this does not need to be a big tug, a deep stretch. You're just creating the shape here. Add on your ankle circles. Other direction. Find that full body length. Release that left leg, arms overhead. Slowly just move those blocks out of the way. You can kick them with your feet or prop yourself up on the forearms, move those blocks. Bend both knees. It's that half bridge preparation. Inhale, arms come up. And then exhale, as your hands come to your sides, you're tucking your tail, tilting the pelvis forward. Tail between the legs. Inhale, arms come up. So you can think of it like a reclined cat-cow, but mostly finding the movement in the lower body, the pelvis. And maybe there is a rocking action that's happening at the back of the skull. It's a feedback, it's a response. So just emphasizing movement at the back of the pelvis. There might even be a little bit of that feeling of a massage, helping to release the bundles of nerves and muscles that attach at the sacrum. Time, hands at your sides, just relax the pelvis. You can shake it out a little bit, and then arms up overhead. And this time, just rest your hands at the front of the hip points, neutral pelvis, and you're going to take hip circles. So you can either think of this as drawing a circle with your tailbone, or you can just think of moving your pelvis in a circle. So, and it doesn't have to be really big. It can be small. Just moving things all around. It might be a little bit of a brain twister. Sometimes in a different orientation, it can be hard to do this. You might only be used to doing hip circles while standing, which is totally fine. And even if it's a rocking or a swaying, whatever your body is letting you do will work. Both legs long, arms up overhead. Exhale, draw both knees towards the chest. Option to rock side to side, or option to draw forehead to the knees. Hug everything in tight like a ball. Both legs long, arms overhead, find that full body length. Exhale, plant the feet, bend your knees, it's the half bridge prep. And then I'm going to give you two options. You can leave your arms at your side so the palms and the triceps are pressing into the earth. You can even grab side edges of the mat, or you're taking the breathing bridge so that the arms go up overhead at the same time as you lift your hips. Inhale here. Exhale, prepare. Inhale, lift the hips. Your choice if you want to bring the arms up overhead or leave them where they are. Exhale, slowly roll down through the spine. We'll do two more like that, and then we'll hold on the fourth one. Inhale, lift. If the arms are at your sides, can you bring even a little more activity? So let pressure down through the hands and the triceps help to lift. So you're rebounding up away from the earth here. Let the bottoms of the feet really anchor in, earth to the yoga mat. Slowly lower. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Last one, inhale. If there was a block between the legs, can you imagine squeezing the block? And ideally, feet are about hip distance, parallel feet. Can you have equal weight in both feet? Slowly lower, slow motion. Both knees come in. This time, draw knee circles. So if the knees stay close together and you draw both knees the same direction, might create that massage for the sacrum. Other direction. And just like we did earlier, the biceps and the arms can work independently of your neck. So relax the throat. Let your head stay heavy here. Through the center, bring your forehead towards the knees. Tight, tight, tight. Exhale, release. Inhale here. Exhale, squeeze. Hug everything in tight like a ball. Inhale, release. Last one, exhale. Inhale, head, neck, and shoulders to the earth. Extend one leg long and then the other. Arms overhead. And we're going to take our banana stretch. So left foot over to the left side of the mat. Sometimes it can be confusing where you are on the mat. So you can actually use your hands and your feet. Feel the side edges of the mat and then center your pelvis. And then once again, long full body stretch. Left foot over to the left side of the mat. Right leg crosses up and over. It's okay for that leg to be bent. And then you'll take hold of the right wrist, and then the arms can come over to the left. If that's too much for you, just keep the arms up overhead, centered on the mat. Otherwise, you're creating that side bend. Breathing in, breathing out. There's space to breathe a little bit more into the right lung. Two more breaths here. Slowly unwind to the center. Again, if you want to feel side edges of the mat with your hands, go ahead. Draw both knees in. Pause. If you want to take forehead to the knees, go ahead. Hug it in. Let the spine reset here. What is your body asking for? What happens when you follow the feelings, follow the sensations? Slowly extend one leg and then the other. Arms are overhead. This time, right leg over to the right edge of the mat. Cross left leg up and over. And just as far as the body will allow. And then hold on to the left wrist. Find your easy side bend. So you're creating a shape that works for your body. If that means you're in a straight line, that works. If you need to have both knees bent and you're just doing the arms, that's okay. Two more breaths. Slowly come out of that side bend. Plant one foot and then the other. And then as you bring your hands at your sides, can you find that pelvic tilt again? A rounding and an arching. And then both knees to the chest. We're going to take an easy twist, so just let the legs fall over to the left. If you need to use a block under both knees or in between both knees, you can go ahead and add that in. I think we did this one last week. So just easy T of the arms. One more breath. And up and over, other side. Let the knees fall to the right. Open your chest towards the sky. And if you want, you're taking your gaze with you over to the left, opposite of the legs. Slowly unwind. Take that block out. Keep it nearby. Back through the center. Both knees in again. Option to rock side to side. If you want to take a happy baby, you can take happy baby. We are going to stretch the legs a little bit more, so if you're not ready for that, don't give yourself a hard time. Plant the feet. You're in that half bridge prep. Inhale, exhale, lift the hips. Place the block for supported bridge, supported half bridge. So the block, you're not turning your neck when you're in this shape. The block is under the pelvis. Option to hold on to side edges of the mat or just press your arms down like we did earlier. So the priority of this shape is to lengthen the tailbone long. Not so important how high the pelvis gets. So you can have the block on the low setting, on the medium setting. The blocks that I have are kind of these like more narrow blocks. So the low setting is pretty low, but if you have a regular sized yoga block, that low setting might just be plenty for you. Staying with your breath here. And if you do want a challenge, option to bring the legs together and then lift one leg. Little hamstring stretch, and then the other. And even if the knee is bent, you're still getting that length at the back of the leg. And can you draw the tailbone long again? Other side. And then this time switch, it's the left leg up, or you're just hanging out in your supported half bridge. Option to take a figure 4 shape. Take that foot back up, switch sides. Again, what if the priority stays with your tailbone, less about what's happening with that right leg? Take that foot back up, plant it, and then anchor down into both feet equally. Even anchoring equally into each four corners of the feet. Heel bone, metatarsal, ball of the foot. Press down into the feet, inhale, lift the hips, block off to the side. Your gaze is up towards the ceiling as you slowly roll down. And then bring your feet as wide as the mat and just windshield wiper the knees up and over one side and then the other. So this isn't a deep twist. Option to tee the arms. You're just taking the knees up and over, finding a little bit of that movement of the femur bone in the hip joint. And then we'll pause with the knees over to the left. If you want a deeper stretch, you'll take the pretzel where you take your left foot up and over that right knee for the quad stretch, hip flexor stretch. Otherwise, you're just hanging out with the knees falling to the left. If you want that deeper stretch, go for it. And if you are taking the pretzel, can you really squeeze your right glute to activate the stretch for the hip flexor? If you feel any tweaking or pulling on the knee, back off. Slowly, we'll start to come out of it. Bring your spine, pelvis, everything back to the center. Up and over other side. Pause, or you're adding on the pretzel. Right foot hooks over that thigh, knee. Are you breathing? Slowly release it. Take your time. Both knees in, reset the spine. If you want to give a little rock and massage the spine, you can do that. I drank a really big smoothie right before class. And when I rock and roll, it's like I can just hear it in there. I guess as we get older, that's the kind of thing that matters more. Not eating before movement. When I was young, it really didn't matter. You know, like when they say don't eat before you go swimming. When I was a kid, I could have cared less. Slowly, you're going to prop yourself up onto the forearms. Actually, come all the way up to a seat. Take your hands behind you so the fingertips face back. Yep, and then just lift the heart. A little bit of a back bend here. And then exhale, sink, round, inhale, lift. So it's that cat-cow rippling of the spine. Now take the hands so that the fingertips are facing towards you. And bend the elbows. And then as you straighten, lift. Exhale, bend, round. Inhale, lift. A little bit of a tricep press just to wake up the back of the arm here. You got it, last one. This time, take the fingertips out. We'll take a reverse tabletop. Exhale, lower. Inhale, lift the hips. Exhale, lower, last one. Pause, or option to add on that figure 4, like we did earlier in the supported half bridge. Switch sides. Both feet to the earth. Lift the hips a little higher before you come down. Slowly exhale, lower. And then recline back to the earth. Both knees in. This time we'll take knees away from each other, around and together. We're going to do a couple more hip stretches, hip openers. Other direction with the knees. So this time, right foot to the earth, left foot to the sky. Find the figure 4, and we're going to thread the needle. As you grab the leg, can you really let the head, neck, and shoulders fall back, resting on the earth? 2 more breaths. Slowly release, switch sides. So right foot kicks up to the sky. Fold it for your figure 4. Find the shape and then add on, thread the needle, hug it in. So when you take your time to come into the shape, you're not overriding your body's signals, the limits of your joints, and all that information gets communicated through your nervous system, that wisdom of the body. Last breath. Slowly release it. Let's find our happy baby. When you're ready, slowly release the feet and start to rock and roll up to a seat. Badakanasana. I think you can still see me okay. I guess my pants are like the same size, same color as the mat, but okay, extend left leg long. You can take kickstand hands behind you to help lift the heart, lift the spine. And I know I always say this, but that left knee does not need to be straight. So if you tend to hunch forward, find a little bend to that knee so you can have a lift through the lower belly and the low spine. Otherwise, sit tall with the leg long. So priority is lengthen the spine, working those muscles next to the spine. You got it. 2 more breaths here. Take those hands back around, and you're actually going to use that right hand to just raise and lift the right knee. So it's not a deep stretch, it's just changing the shape, changing the orientation from internally rotated, externally rotated. So think about your figure 4. We're just opening it up, you got it, and then find that lift through the spine. So really sitting tall here, just training and reminding the muscles of the spine, the core, that it can work independent of the legs. Last one. Badakanasana, both feet in. 3 shoulder circles. Slowly extend right leg long. Option to stay here or take the kickstand hands. So really, work the body and make sure not to overarch the spine as you lift. So knit the ribs together, energy through that center line of the body. Calming breath, one more. Hands come around and then raise and lower. Work the core. So it's a full body posture if you have the intention to keep everything activated, everything on deck. Last one. Both feet together, shoulder circles again. Releasing pent up stress, tension, tightness, hardness in the body. 2 more. This time both legs long, Upavishta. And again, if the knees need to be slightly bent, you're still getting that stretch. Hands can come in front or behind you for that extra lift. And then if you want, you can start to walk the hands forward to get a deeper inner thigh hamstring stretch. You don't have to. And then if you want, adding a little bit, rocking side to side. So find your stretch. Not so important the shape that my body's making or even what you're imagining it's supposed to look like. How would you like it to feel? And you prioritize your heart space here. And if you want to add on, you can start to walk up and then move side to side, finding your side bend or a deeper hamstring stretch. Again, can you follow the body? What is your body asking for? Doesn't need to be planned. Good. Make sure you feel even on both sides, whatever it is that you did. And then we're going to slowly come up and we'll start right back where we started. So left leg long. And you're going to take left hand across. You're either grabbing onto the right foot or the right knee. Right arm reaches up and you're finding a side bend here. And then windmill that top arm up and around. So you're getting a big sweeping motion with that top arm, getting a shoulder opener and also opening up side of the rib cage a little bit. Last one. Open it up and then find your side bend towards the foot. Inhale back through the center, T the arms. And then can you draw that foot back in? And then this time a little bit of a cat-cow round and arch, like you're bringing your arms around a big beach ball. Inhale, open it up. Exhale, round. Inhale, open. Last one. Slowly come to neutral spine, extend right leg long. Right hand across, left arm up. So you're really lifting up and over, and then find that big windmill arm. Really big range of motion here. Sweep the arm up. Two more. Open it up and then find the side bend towards the foot. Inhale back up. Find that Badakanasana and then open the arms up. Exhale, round. Inhale, lift the heart. Baby back bend. Exhale. Inhale, find length, reach up. Last one. Inhale, sit tall. Find the kickstand hands. And we're going to take the feet wide, almost like we did earlier, but the feet are wider and you're finding the windshield wiper. I'm really feeling this one today. So can you let gravity really drag and drop the legs? Nice release for the top of the hamstring. Two more. Slowly, we're going to set up with the blocks. We'll start with the top block on the high setting, bottom block on the medium setting. I'll help a little bit. So there's just a small gap for the shoulders to drop back. And then top block behind the head. Sometimes the top block can go diagonal, so reach back and wiggle it around a little bit just to make sure that it's really secure. I see that in the in-person classes a lot. That block goes diagonal. And so the medium block is above the bra strap, right, almost touching the just touching the bottom tip of the shoulder blade. You just don't want the bottom block all the way down at the lower ribs, which if you bring the blocks too far away from each other, that can happen. So if the block is near your waist, it's too low. If it's a little bit uncomfortable, it's probably in the right place. And inhale, we'll reach the arms towards the sky, goalpost arms. Inhale, reach it up. Open. I'm going to modify the blocks because I have a thing that's been going on with my neck and I just don't want to overdo it. Okay, last one. And then this time give yourself a hug briefly. Let the shoulder blades drop back. Inhale, open it up. Give yourself another hug, other elbow on top. Inhale, release hands to your sides. If you feel like you're ready for a deeper back bend, you'll reach up and back. Bend the elbows, grab onto the block and take it from the highest setting onto the medium setting. So now the blocks are at the same height. Now you're going to take opposite elbows and draw the arms up and back. So you're letting them dip behind the head, behind the block. Getting a shoulder stretch here. Slowly come back up, switch which forearm is in front. Inhale, exhale. Slowly release the arms at your sides. Just 3 breaths here. Slowly you'll prop yourself up, blocks out of the way. And we're going to come up and over to child's pose. Option to take a supported child's pose. So whatever that means for you, if you want to take a block under the hips and under the forehead, or you can take blocks underneath the belly and the forehead. And then the inquiry here, where is there space to breathe? Two more breaths. I'm going to give an option, a couple options next. If you're feeling like you want another deeper hip stretch, you'll slowly start to come up and you can either take a half pigeon or a lizard. And if you want another quad stretch, maybe you take that lizard and you add on the quad stretch. Otherwise, you can take a half pigeon. And if you want a modification, start with where we were earlier with the windshield wiper legs, and then just take your torso up and over one leg. So that would be the modified hip stretch. Otherwise, you're going deeper into your half pigeon or whatever else is calling to you. And once you set up in your half pigeon, you can also, like I said, take that lizard as another option. Go ahead and use a block to rest your forehead. Slowly, when you're ready, you'll switch to the other side. And then add on that block so that you can really relax the neck. Let your forehead touch on something. When you feel like you've been there long enough, you'll slowly start to come up. Do you have space to set up for legs up the wall like we did last time? Okay, so before we go there, one last thing. You'll lay down on your spine, and it's like you're taking your Sukhasana easy seat on the sky. Grab onto the feet so that your palms are touching the soles of the feet. Might have to round forward to grab the feet, and then slowly let your head, neck, and shoulders recline back. So the knees are coming out towards the armpits, feet towards opposite sit bone. You can add on that rocking. So it's just another orientation of the external hip stretch. You can rock side to side. Oh, okay, you got it. And then as you add in the length for your tailbone, you might feel it a little bit more. And then you can switch which shin is crossing in front. So release the feet to the sky, switch the cross, and then crunch forward to grab those feet. So you're grabbing the outside edges of the feet, and then as you recline head, neck, and shoulders, just like I talked about earlier, the biceps and the arms can work independently of those upper traps in the neck. So you get to relax your neck as you hug the lower body in, folding into yourself. When you're ready, feet to the sky, happy baby. And then staying in your happy baby, I'm just going to give a little explanation for what's coming next. We're going to head over to the wall, and the invitation, obviously you can do what works best for you, but the invitation is to take a Badakanasana shape or taking those Sukhasana cross leg position with your legs up the wall. So first finish off your happy baby. Can you anchor in the shoulder blades? Lengthen the spine so tailbone reaches away from the crown of the head, like you're going to touch and stamp your sit bones onto the wall in front of you. And then slowly release the feet. Maybe even one more stretch, arms up overhead, and then slowly start to prop yourself up and head over to the wall. You can always take a blanket or a pillow underneath your sacrum. Go ahead and get close to the wall while you're laying on your side. So that when you roll up, you're close enough. And if you want to try the crossed legs also, I think, work nicely if you're up against a bed or a couch. Whenever it feels right, you can switch the cross. Both feet up the wall. And if you want, you can spend a little bit of time, don't stay too long, with your legs open, Upavishta. We did this one earlier in the seated position. And if you want to add on a different arm variation, we did the stretch earlier, opposite elbows with your arms resting up overhead. And if your arms don't easily rest on the earth, go ahead and put a blanket, rolled up towel, or your block behind you. You can switch across the arms. Slowly release the arms to your sides. Couple more breaths. Slowly use your hands to bring the feet back together up the wall. Stay here or slowly shimmy away from the wall slightly. Bend the knees, plant the feet, and you'll just take a couple of those pelvic tilts. Okay, and either taking an easy twist like we did at the beginning of class, or if you want to fold one leg over the other, cross the legs, and then take the twist. You can always take a block under the legs if you need it. Slowly come out of the twist. You can lay onto your left side, either taking the legs up and over or finding that cross leg version. A couple more breaths. And then slowly you're unwinding. You come back up to a seat, your head can hang down. So whichever seat that you like, go ahead and take it. Chin is still tucked inward. Palms face up. And then as you slowly start to bring your chin level with the earth, option to rest your hands with the fingertips resting just underneath the collarbones. Find your belly breath. And then let the breath start to rise up into the upper lobes of the chest, upper lobes of the lungs. Still letting the belly pump, so your belly leads. Feel the hands together, Anjali Mudra, prayer position. Calling in an intention that you'll take with you into your dream state. And thank you. Thank you so much. I think the sun was perfect for us.